But there's a kind of a tragic side to the Last Supper, right?
Yeah.
I remember reading or hearing something about the painting like deteriorating over time.
Yeah, unfortunately, he was, always trying to innovate. So he experimented with a new type of paint for that mural. And it didn't adhere to the plaster as well as like the traditional fresco techniques, which, that involved applying the pigments to wet plaster. So over the centuries, it suffered some pretty significant damage.
It's heartbreaking to think that such a masterpiece is slowly, fading away.
Yeah.
But what's remarkable is that even in its deteriorated state, it still has this power, this incredible power to move people.
Absolutely, and that speaks to the genius of the man, that he could capture that raw emotion of that moment. That complex interplay of human relationships.
So he's this phenomenal artist pushing the boundaries of technique and expression.
Yeah.
But then he goes and becomes a scientist too. I mean, how is that even possible?
His scientific pursuits, they weren't separate from his art, They were driven by that same desire to understand the world.
Yeah.
Just like he studied light and shadow for his paintings, he studied anatomy to portray the human form accurately. And we're not talking about like textbook knowledge here.
Right.
Leonardo was dissecting human corpses.
Oh.
Meticulously studying muscles, tendons, bones, organs.
Wow.
He wanted to see for himself how the body worked, how it all fit together.
That's both fascinating and a little bit creepy, right?
Yeah.
Like to think he was doing this back in the 1400s,